Werkflow is a digital art studio based in Somerset House, and our main focus and area of interest is in how emerging technologies such as games engines can be harnessed to sort of create new types of experiences and products.
But over the last couple of years we've started to focus on using game engine technology to produce a lot of the work that we do. We have a lot of studio-led projects, which are projects that we conceive and produce ourselves, as well as doing a lot of collaborations with artists, musicians, fashion designers, all sorts of different people.
We've all come from different disciplines at Werkflow, my background being art and music. Around the time that I discovered using 3D animation, I was starting up a small digital label called Quantum Natives with a friend of mine who's based in Taiwan called All9. I also started my own musical project called Broodmar. The label relied quite heavily on imagery that myself and All9 developed early on. I then used that to create some videos within Werkflow in the early days.
So my background has been in post-production for stills photography, so I'm from a sort of photographic and fashion imagery background. I've worked really closely with a photographer called Nick Knight for about 10 years.
So I studied photography at university, started working at a show studio with Nick Knight and started becoming more interested in 3D.
Over the years, the kind of skills that we've learned and we've sort of developed in a way, they're sort of coming to the forefront, I think, in a lot of sort of conceptual art practices. So that's how we end up collaborating with a lot of artists.
A lot of the sort of technical processes that we've developed as a studio have come from working on very small budgets. We found that games engines and real-time rendering processes were a very fast way of working and flexible way of working.
The technology is getting opened up and you can use a lot of this stuff for free, and it is kind of creating this new tool for communication. So one of the projects that we all really like was the video for a band called Pattern, and we got approached by the band and Warp Records to see if we wanted to make a video for them. We kind of created it as a cutscene like you'd see in a sort of, you know, AAA-ish kind of looking game.
I mean, obviously you can't escape the language of games when you work within that as a medium, but yeah, we wanted to make the whole thing a lot more cinematic. There were some visual effects which we created purely by accident, by kind of pushing things in the wrong way within the game engine, like using the lighting until it glitches, things like that, and adding that to the kind of more traditional, realistic things that we were trying to do. We've got an ongoing relationship with Sizzle where we've created multiple projects, installation pieces, VR works that are kind of considered sculptural pieces within a broader art installation.
One project we worked on was with Gareth Pugh, who's also at Somerset House. And for that project we recreated costumes that he'd designed for an opera called Antigona. And created an online interactive that allowed people to look around those as sort of 3D sculptures. It sort of shows the possibility of how you can present things with in a new type of media.
It does sort of feel like a new medium, and it is branching out into other things that aren't games, and you can do so much stuff with it now that it's, you know, it's not illustration, it's not photography, it's not filmmaking. It sort of feels like something that's quite new, so it's becoming a medium in its own right that is sort of slightly separate from games, I think.
We've collaborated especially with Kudo, who's working with us on our project Sovereign.
We first started working together thanks to a commission from a festival doing a performance with Werkflow. We continued working together on my own live performances, with Werkflow providing the visual aspect live using a game engine, which at the time I hadn't seen being done before. So I guess a lot of these kind of conversations were sort of prepared by that experience.
The concept of just starting to make a video game in the first place, so the way we started to use all of this technology, and we never set out to kind of make a video game or become an independent video game studio, but kind of after a while, we're kind of like, oh yeah, maybe we should make a video game.
This often skews the first-person shooter genre or perspective in gameplay by reversing the sort of power mechanic that's traditionally found in those kinds of games. The player will start off feeling more powerful than they end up, and that is also reflected in the story and the way the central character feels. We want people to question that power that they often feel when they play first-person computer games.
The stuff that you see when you're working with this technology on computers, like a lot of it is completely mad and kind of exciting, and it's kind of the little things that you kind of wouldn't otherwise notice or you can sometimes miss that we try and sort of pick up on and like run with that.